Hi students, my name is Nidesh Nagarashet. I am from Annavara. So last class we discussed about a topic from 8th standard, that is square and square roots. So that part is already completed. So let us move on to the next topic. So before going to the next topic, here I drawn some figure here. So it is made up of some squares. That means here it is one square is there. So all the squares. So made up of all the square, we are call it as a cube. So for example, we have a die. So here we know that on this die already we learned some of the chances and probability when we use that one. So this is a cube and all the side we have a squares. So just observe all the sides we have a squares here. So that one I wrote here, drawn here. So that here we have to take it as a cube or die as a cube. So that means in square all the sides are equal. So here also all the possible sides are always equal. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Front side we have 4 and back side also we have 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 front above side and below side. All the sides we have 4 sides are there. So when we consider any one side of this cube, we have a 4 side. All the sides are equal. So when we take an area of this cube, so already we know that the area of square we can take the length into breadth. Here, so in one point, here when we have a point on the vertices of the cube, so we have 3 lines here. So that's why we are considered it as a 3-dimensional figures. If it is 2 lines means it's a 2-dimensional. When we have 3 lines in one vertices means, so when we have 3 lines ejected or transmitted from one vertex, so then we are considered it as a 3-dimensional figure. So what we have to do is, here when we find out the area of this cube, we have to multiply the length, breadth and height. So here length, breadth and height, we have to take the multiplication of these 3 sides. But here in this cube, all the sides are equal. That's why we are considered it as a common, it's a side. So when we are considering the area of this cube is equal to, we can take it as side into side into side. So that means here already we know that when we multiply 2 identical or 2 equal quantities, we are considered it as a square. Here we have the 3 equal quantities, so multiplied here. So that's why we are taken it as a cube. That means side whole cube it is. That means it is 3 times multiplied. The same quantity we are multiplied in 3 times. So that's why we are considered it as a cube. So the answer of this RHS side, so we are call it as a perfect cube. So let us move on to the next chapter, that is cubes and cube roots. It is cubes and cube roots. It is likewise we have a square and square root. So here we have cube and cube roots, the same number or same equal integers or equal quantities multiplied 3 times. So then we have a perfect cube. So when we have a number is multiplied 3 times, the answer of this process is we get perfect cube. So for example, when we consider n, when we have considered m, so when we multiplied m 3 times, so we can consider it as a m cube, that is m cube. If we are considering it as n means, so the value is n means the n is a perfect cube here. So let us take the perfect cube here. perfect cube. Consider a number or consider an integer m or consider an integer n. So that an integer n is a perfect cube. N is a perfect cube. Then n can be written as product of three equal integers m. Three equal integers m, and it can be written as n is equal to m cube, or we call it as n is a cube of m, or we call it as n is a cube of m here. Yes. So that means when we are considering n is a perfect square is when n can be written as the multiplication of the 3 times the equal integers. So then we can write it as n is equal to m cube or n is a cube of m. So likewise we know that in the square and squares. So that means 1 can be multiplied 2 times, we get 1, and 2 can be multiplied 2 times, we get 4, like that. So here also we have some of the perfect cubes from the 1 to 10. Here in this case, in the cubes, we have to know about the at least up to 10 perfect cubes. So let us take one by one. That is 1 cube. Here 1 cube is equal to 1 into 1 into 1 is equal to 1 only. Then 2 cube is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 is equal to 8. 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8. That is 3 cube is equal to 3 into 3 into 3 is equal to 3 into 3 9. 9 into 3 27. 4 cube is equal to 4 into 4 into 4 is equal to 64. Then 5 cube is equal to 5 into 5 into 5 is equal to 125. Then 6 cube is equal to 6 into 6 into 6 is equal to 216. Then 7 cube is equal to 7 into 7 into 7 is equal to 343. Then 8 cube is equal to 8 into 8 into 8 is equal to 512. Then 9 cube is equal to 9 into 9 is equal to 729. Then finally I will write 10 cube is equal to 10 into 10 into 10 is equal to 1000. So I think you know about 1000. So last worksheet I given that 1000 is whether it is perfect square or not. So recognizing the last number. So here 0 is we can take it as a perfect square, but 1000 is not a perfect square, that one is a perfect cube. That means, so when we multiply 10 3 times, so we get 1000, not 2 times. So in 2 times we get only 2 zeros at the end, here only 3 zeros at the end. So that means here it is one property is there. So here when we have 1 zeros, so we have a 3 zeros like that. So we can use that property also. So along with that one we have one property, we have to know about one property here. So property 1, that is property 1 we can take, that is the cube of even integer is even and cube of, here I will write in the, and cube of odd integer is odd. The cube of even integer is always even and the cube of odd integer is always odd. Just look at here. So when we say odd number, we get the odd perfect cube, and here when 2 is a even number, we get 8, it's a even number, and 3, 27, so those two are odd numbers. 4, 64, those two are even numbers. 5, 125, odd numbers, and 6, 2, and 6, even. 7, 3, 4, 3, odd. 8, 5, 1, 2, even, and 9, 7, 29, odd. 10 and 1000, it's even. So this is the property number 1. So always we get the even numbers when we take the cube of even numbers. Always we get the odd numbers when we take the cube of odd numbers. So this is the property of cubes here. Perfect cube, especially perfect cube. There are some more patterns are there. So in this year I removed from this topic. So that's why here I will close this property here only. So let us move on to the next topic. Take the next topic, that is finding cubes from the prime factorization. That means cubes and their prime factors. Already we know about in the squares. So perfect square can be expressed as a product of prime numbers. So here also the perfect cube also can be expressed in the form of multiplication of prime factors or product of prime factors. So let us take cubes and their prime factors. That is cubes and their prime factors. Cubes and their prime factors. So also we discussed in the square also, perfect square can be expressed as a product of prime. Here also perfect cubes can be expressed as a product of primes, and in case of squares we can group into 2 equal parts. Here we have to group into 3 equal parts. That is each perfect cube can be expressed as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique, and this factorization is unique. This factorization is unique, and it can be grouped into or divided into 3 equal groups. It can be divided into 3 equal group of prime numbers. That means when we have a prime factorization, the product of primes we have to group. So multiplication of those 3 groups, that means we can take it as a cube. So let us take any example. Firstly I will take any example here. So this is the complete simple topic. Whatever the perfect cube you have, you can express it as a product of prime. Here I will consider it as 216. Whether it is possible or not, we have to check here. So then firstly I will take from 2 because it's a prime number and it's a even number. That's why we have to take it as a, firstly divide with 2 here. 2 into 1, and here it is 0 and 8. Then here 2 into 5, 10, we have 4, 8, 2 into 4. Again we can divide into 2. So 2 into 2, 7. Here 27 is there. So 9 can be take, but 9 is not a prime factor, so that's why you have to take 3 only. 3 into 9 here and 3 into 3 here. Finally we have 3 into 1. So that means 216 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2, 3 into 3 into 3. 2 into 2 into 2 and 3 into 3 into 3. So in squares we are grouped into two similar terms, one and the same groups. So here we have, what we have to do is we have to group into three similar groups. That is, I will take 2 from here and 1 3 from here. So likewise 1 2 here, 1 3 here, and here 1 2 here, 1 3 here. That is 2 into 3 like that. So is equal to, then here it becomes 6 6 6. 6 into 6 into 6 is equal to 6 cube. That is 2 and 6 is equal to 6 cube. So all the perfect cubes can be expressed as a product of primes. We can group into 3 equal groups. We can divide into 3 equal groups like this. So after that we can take the cubes like this. So there are many problems are there, you have to solve in the same. So know that one, that is, so you have to use only the prime numbers here, don't use any other numbers. So only prime numbers, 2 3 5 7, not 9 is not a prime number, 11 is there, 13 is there, 15 is not, 17 you can use, 19 you can use, 21 is not, and like this, 23 is there, 20 is 7, 25 is not, 27 is not, 29 you can take. Likewise you have to take. So only these prime factorization you have to use only the prime numbers. No, don't use any other numbers. Don't use any composite number. You have to use prime numbers only. That numbers divided with itself and 1. Likewise. So I hope you learned this one. So let us move on to the next topic. Here we know about the cubes and their prime factorization. Using cubes and prime factorization, we have to find out some of the smallest multiple. You have to multiply to the non-perfect cube to get the perfect cube. That is smallest multiple, that is a perfect cube, or smallest multiple to have a perfect cube. It is smallest multiple that is, or to get perfect cube. Smallest multiple to get perfect cube here. Yes. So let us take one example here. Firstly I will take 243. So we have to, here 243 is not a perfect cube here. So it's a non-perfect cube. So here what we have to find is, so we have to find the smallest multiple to get the perfect cube. For that we have to use the prime factorization method. Firstly we have to find the prime factors of this number, and then we have to take what is the possible smallest multiple to get the perfect cube here. So let us take the prime factorization 243. So we can divide it from the 3. 81 and 3 into, here it is 27, here 3 into 9 and 3 into 3 and 3 into 1. So completely 3 we have here. So we can express it in the product of prime factor, that is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into here 3. So that means when we divide these prime factors, here one possible is there, here a second is possible is there, here there is no any partner for this 3. When we multiply 3 on both sides, we can get the perfect cube here. That means multiply 3 on both sides. Therefore 243 into 3 is equal to 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So that means when we multiplied 3 to this term, 3 to this number, we get the perfect cube. So likewise, that means therefore when we multiply 3 to the given number, we get the perfect cube here. Yes. So this is the case of getting the perfect cube when we multiply a smallest multiple. That means, so here it is a smallest multiple 3. So you can multiply 27 also. Sometimes it is possible to get higher number. That means when we 3 into 3, so you can say multiply another 3. So here when we insert 2 in each cases, so there also we can get the some perfect cubes here. So here it is, we have to take the smallest multiple. What is the smallest multiple to get the perfect cube is 3. In this case there are so many sort of problems are there. You can find in your exercise, you can solve that. So let us move on to the next problem. So let us take this problem here. Is 1188 is a perfect cube? If not, by which smallest natural number 1188 to be divided so that the quotient is a perfect cube? That means here the question is that whether it is perfect cube or not. If it is perfect cube, the question ends here only. So okay, we got the answer, that is a perfect cube. If it is not, we have to divide that number, that the quotient is a perfect cube. After division we get the quotient, that one is a perfect cube. We have to find that what is the possible natural number to be divided, that 1188. Then we can get the perfect cube as an answer. So firstly what we have to do? So we have to take the prime factorization here, express it as the product of prime factors, and then group into 3 equal similar groups. And if it is possible to make out 3 equal groups, the product of 3 equal groups, it is perfect cube. Otherwise it is not. Then we have to transpose some of the things. So then we can divide that one. After that we can get the quotient as a perfect cube here. So let us try that question. Yes, 1188. So let us take 1188. Take the prime factorization here. Firstly I will take from 2. That is, it's an even number. So that's why I am taken 2 here. 2 into 5, 1 remains, 2 into 9, and we get the 4 here, 2, 4, 8, and also we can divide from the 2 also here, 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 9, 18, 1 remains, 2 into 7, yes, here it remains. Then we can use 3 also here, 3 into 9, 27, and again 27 remains, 3 into 9, yes, then use 3, don't use 9, or you can use 11 also here, so it becomes very less here. So 11 into 9, we can take 11 into 9 here, so here it becomes 3 into 3 and 3 into 1. Yes, we get the prime factorization. Let us express as a product of prime factor, that is 2 into 2 and 3 into 3 into 11 into 3 into 3. So here 2 into 2 remains like this, and 11 this remains like this, and here it can be taken as 3 cube. Likewise we can take, but here there is no any partner for 2 into 2, and there is no any other 2 partners for 11. So when we consider it as consider it as 3 equal groups, we can't take that one. So here 1188. So for that what you do, 3 into 3 into 3 remains as it is, because it's a multiplication of 3 equal integers. 3 equal integers here. So transpose all 2 into 2 into 11 into the LHS side comes to the denominator. That is 1188 divided by 2 into 2 into 11 is equal to, it becomes 3 into 3 into 3, that is 3 cube we have. So that means here we have to divide 1188 with 2 into 2 into 11. That means answer is 44. Yes, so that means 1188 divided by 44, so we get 3 cube here. So that means we have to divide 1188 with 44 to get the perfect cube. That is, so as to divide 1188 with 44, we get the quotient is perfect cube. Yes. So that means here 1188 divided by 44, we get the 3 cube. 3 cube is equal to 27. That means 1188 divided by 44 is equal to 27. 27 is the quotient. So that one is a perfect cube here. So there are similar problems are there in your exercise. You can recognize and solve. So when I am sending the sum of the worksheet to you, so you can solve that, and also you can solve in your home also. So I will conclude this part here. So those who are watching this video for the first time, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. You can get the notification very easy. So thank you one and all. Be safe and stay home. Thank you.